More PlayStation stuff. So, since it's the 25th anniversary of the PAL release this week, we'll be playing some more PlayStation 1 games. Now, this is a PS1 controller. It's a DualShock. It's not the original controller for the system. That didn't have joysticks. To turn the joysticks on, you can just hit the analog button there. That lights up where red. This one's a little bit grubby, but it still works fine, and it's not too bad. So, in something that's a little bit different, I'm not going to be playing these through the video capture box. I'm going to be using this PlayStation 1 to HDMI converter. So that end goes in the back of the PS1, that end goes to HDMI on your TV, and that's a little micro USB to power it from. So I'm going to have that plugged into the front of my Xbox One because it's the closest USB ports. The reason I'm going to be doing this is to get sort of the closest to original experience that most people seem to currently be having. I had a look on eBay and there's hundreds of thousands of these little things sold. So people seem to be buying them up in order to play their old games. So instead of using the video capture box, I'm going to be using the camera on a tripod straight in front of the TV to give us that old school feel. So, games then. First up, it's Soviet Strike. Before we talk about that, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the discs. So, they're black. This one's in pretty poor condition. The reason they're black is a little bit unclear, so it could be something to do with copy protection, or it could just be because Sony wanted them to look cool. Apparently the copy protection on the PlayStation was done through intentionally writing bad sectors to the disc, and some early CD writers would not recognise either the bad sectors or the black film at all, so they'd get stuck and you wouldn't be able to rip the data off them properly, which is interesting. Okay, Soviet Strike then. So this isn't going to be sort of the best PlayStation games in the world, because that'd be things like, you know, Final Fantasy and Grand Theft Auto 2, but we're just going to have a look at some fun shooters that I've got kicking around. These are different in America, these cases. I believe they're just standard dual cases across the pond, but for PAL regions we got these sort of double thickness ones with this nice little PlayStation line down the side, which is all very nice. Take the Strike helicopter into the heart of the decaying Soviet Union. Yeah, so released in 1996, I think this one was, for PAL regions. It's a top-down shooter and you fly an Apache helicopter, and it's set after the collapse of the Soviet Union, I think. Mostly consists of rescuing prisoners and blowing up buildings, and it's pretty cool because there's some live action bits between the missions to liven it up. Let's just see if we can find any of these in the booklets. Bootupstrike.net. Yeah, no mention of the live action things in the booklet, but they're pretty interesting. You fly an Apache helicopter and you blow stuff up, which is always cool. This is the Platinum release, so it's a re-release version of it that would have been cheaper and easier to get hold of. Interesting thing with this game is a lot of the textures were done with satellite mapping, which wasn't really used back in 1996. Anyway, let's have a look at it. Next up then, Colony Wars Vengeance. So this is a really cool one, developed by a UK developer, Psygnosis, released in late 1998. It's a sort of 6 Degrees of Freedom space shooter. It's based on missions. Let's just have a look at the back of the box. The League of Free Worlds imprisoned us like criminals, but together we will make them pay. You certainly will. Yeah, it's got multiple endings from what I remember. I think there's 5, ranging from sort of everything is fine to everybody is horribly dead and you've made a mess of things, based on which missions you either pass or fail, so either way you complete the game. It's got some of the best graphics on the system. It was a slightly later game because it was 1998, but it's got sort of massive planetary backgrounds, and the ship designs are really nice in it. Let's have a look in the book, see if there's any of them. They're really sort of low poly and simple, but they certainly stand out. Right, there's some screenshots from it showing a big wormhole. It's very similar to Descent. However, I think this is a little bit better than Descent, actually, given that you've got more freedom. Forward thrust, reverse thrust. Yeah, it feels a lot more like a PC game or something. No, okay. No real design shots of the ships. That's just the cover art again. Again, black disc, so the old 700 megabytes PlayStation CDs. Anything else on the box? One player, memory cards, analog controller compatible, which means you can use the joysticks with it. Yeah, not much at all on there really, but it's a particularly nice game, and the plot's pretty good as well. Something about you join the Earth Navy and you've got to defend against some lads from the last game, because this is a sequel to the first Colony Wars. Can't really remember, it's been a long time, but you get a lot of comm chat from your wingmen as well, which livens it up a bit.
Is constructed before League forces arrive. Good luck, pilot.
Drake to Mertons. Use your grapple device to align.
And the last shooter for today then is Forsaken. Now this really is like Descent. It's almost an exact copy of the sort of movement and shooting systems from Descent. Released in 1998, this one was. It's another British studio, I believe. Yeah, it says Acclaim, but I think it was actually developed by Probe, which either are Acclaim or part of Acclaim, or they're part of Acclaim now, or Acclaim doesn't exist anymore, or something. It's the 6 degrees of freedom. You can fly around, but this is sort of more set in like corridors, flying through installations on a ruined Earth, which is quite interesting. Makes it feel a lot more claustrophobic than Colony Wars there. Unfortunately with this one, the plot is absolute nonsense. All I remember from this is a subatomic experiment has gone wrong and destroyed the Earth, and now space mercenaries want all our stuff, which is just ridiculous. Let's have a look at the box. The box is a bit different for this one. I'm not entirely sure why, but yeah, it's a little bit smaller. So obviously it wouldn't sit on your shelf properly. And it's this sort of soft black plastic, a bit more like a Mega Drive box or something. But I can assure you this is the official case for it. I don't really know why they wanted to be so different. Yeah, disc. This is a little bit more like the early PlayStation discs, this one. So if we have a look back at the Colony Wars one, it's got nice printing on it, and lots of colours. Even the Soviet Strike one's marginally more interesting, so that's looks more like the later PlayStation discs. But you got a lot of early demo discs and stuff printed like this, which is interesting for home use only. But yeah, Forsaken's a pretty solid shooter. It was bundled with a lot of graphics cards. Ooh, got crap in this box. I don't know why. It was bundled with a lot of PC graphics cards at the time to show off the technology, because it just looks really, really good. Unfortunately, I'm not any good at it, so I'm sure this video footage will be absolutely terrible. Yeah, so that's kind of it for this video. We'll do some more stuff this week on PlayStation 1. I'm hoping it's on order currently, but I've got a really grotty PlayStation case to do some modding to. So hopefully we're going to be able to do something interesting with that. However, this may not come out this week. But yeah, might even look at some more games. Who knows? Alright, thanks guys. Bye-bye.
Subscribe for more.
Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.